with some people in the room here tonight. But what I'm going to go over with you in a nutshell is how we're empowering people. And then the other thing that I'm going to go over as well, with the services that we're empowering people, I'm going to show you tonight how those services are going to pay you to keep them. So you won't be paying to have these services. So I'm going to go over that as well. So most of the time when you're researching a company, you want to actually look to make sure they're legitimate. You want to make sure that they've, of course, been established over a period of time, not a company here today, gone tomorrow. So as it says, of course, here we've been established since 1972, so over 45 plus years that we've been established. And then it says, of course, here, 4.2 million lives are across the U.S. and Canada that are being empowered and protected by our services. So I would sometimes think like, okay, well, you know, a company can fool about 37 people. But then I say, well, you could fool maybe 370. I don't think you could fool about 4.2 million people that our services, of course, are actually helping people save money as well as save lives. And then also we're across all 50 states, that's including Alaska, as well as 4 provinces in Canada. So anywhere you travel outside of this room tonight, even if it's in a different state, you are covered and protected with our services. So this is our vision, to provide equal access to the liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every North American deserves and expects. I want to ask you a question. Would you say that we have equal justice here in the U.S.?
No.
So usually we don't have that equal justice because of what?
Money.
Exactly. So when you think of that, we're already priced out of the justice system. So a lot of times we're checking our checkbooks first before we check our rights. After tonight, you won't have to do that any longer. You'll be able to check your rights before checking that checkbook. Also, our mission, of course, is to help improve people's lives, of course, by teaching life-transforming skills and to deliver exceptional products and services that promote peace of mind and confidence in a world, of course, that we know and a lot of times are uncaring and unselfish. So, little things about the company. Of course, I'm going to say great things about the company. I've been with them, of course, now going on 6 years. So you can expect me to say great things. But this is just some of the other reputable companies that are, of course, making sure that we are, of course, legit, like I said before. Better Business Bureau, A+ rating, of course, Facebook. Who isn't on Facebook these days in social media? And Consumer Affairs. We, as you can see right here, we have a little bit of the, a little star, but, when I went to school, I was told to round up. So I say that's 5 stars. So, digital disruptors. So this example right here, I'm sure you all already are aware of all of these companies. Am I right or am I right?
Right.
Okay, so outside of, we have Instagram, billion-dollar industry, Uber, billion-dollar industry, as well as Lyft. We have Airbnb, and we have Amazon, and we have Netflix. So what outside of these companies being billion-dollar industries, the other thing that they have in common, they don't own any of these things that they are, of course, disrupting the market about. But they're giving people access to something they've always had access to, but making it more affordable and effective for people to access what it is that they have. So when you think of that, those are digital disruptors with those industries. This is what we're doing with our industry. We're a digital disruptor. We're giving people access to apps that you can download on your phone tonight. So before you walk out of this room, make sure you download these 2 apps. It's Legal Shield and ID Shield. You can download those and look at the demo modes. So when you go through those, you can see exactly how we're just giving you pretty much your protection is just a tap away. And that's what I'm going to cover with you tonight. So the first thing that we're going to go over as far as with our app, right here where you see call your law firm, is pretty much you giving access to the law firm, not just in Illinois, but again, like I said, it's nationwide. So a lot of times, people tell me, my brother's an attorney or my aunt's a judge. I'm like, really? What state do they practice in? They may tell me something that's not even here. I said, okay, so would you agree with me that every state law is different? They say, yeah. I said, okay, would you agree with me that there are different areas of law that lawyers have to specialize in? They say, yeah. I said, right, because you wouldn't call a foot doctor to operate on your eye. I hope not. Right. I'm just saying. So if you call a foot doctor to operate on your eye, that's kind of awkward. So I tell people, we're not giving access to a lawyer, but we're giving you access to a law firm. That's what you need access to, and that's what we give you in the palm of your hands. You're just one tap away. So of course, millennials, they love this app. You know, some that aren't millennials, they say, I need to figure out how to use this thing. So that's what we're here for you tonight, to show you how to use this app. So it says, call your law firm, personal legal advice, unlimited number of issues. So what's unlimited? Anybody?
Unlimited.
Okay, I'll make sure I'm talking to the right crowd. So you get access to personal legal advice unlimited number of times. So it's no cap. Like after you called them 10 times in a month, okay, now you can't no longer call us. Maybe some people are just lonely and they want to have somebody to talk to. Give them a call. So it could be things ranging from how do I pay my student loans back? How do I, maybe you have a lien on a property that you're trying to research more about and, get that lien off your property. So it can range from a various number of issues, from trivial to traumatic. Letters or calls made on your behalf. For instance, I had a couple who actually used this area where they was like, I'm not going to talk about the company. They kind of called comment. Oh, I'm sorry. They pretty much had overcharged them. So I always ask people, when you're treated unfairly overcharged, what do? You just go to the boss's boss, and you get nowhere. But what this couple did that most couples can't do because they don't have access to what I'm sharing with you tonight, they were able to, at the time we didn't have the app, but they were able to call the law firm and they were able to make a letter on their behalf to ComEd's legal department, not their complaint department, where they throw in like little paper bombs into the wastebasket and you never hear back from anyone. Long story short, that couple actually received $180 back of them being overcharged. So I know, don't run out of here, because I know y'all gonna run try to go check y'all, light and gas bills, making sure nobody overcharge you. But that's just the power of having access to this, because most of the time people wouldn't have went to a lawyer for $180, because roughly lawyers charge on average $250 an hour. What I'm showing you tonight is how we give you access to something that's less than $1 a day. So keep that in your mind when you're thinking about counting up a calendar month and how much this is going to cost you, not to just protect just you, but you and your family. Okay. Contracts or documents reviewed up to 15 pages. I know another gentleman, he was in actually North Carolina. He was actually purchasing a vehicle. And after about to purchase that vehicle, they said, hey, we need you to sign. You know how you sign the paperwork. You've been in that, dealership so long, and you like, oh yeah, let me just sign. He remembered, oh, I got this, service. Well, I remember they could review contracts for me, so he had them review the contracts for him, sent it to the law firm right there on the spot. And they said, well, how long will it take? He said, not a long time. They should be back to me shortly. So they gave him a call back. They let him know they need to amend this in your contract, because pretty much what they did was he was going to be financing a prep fee for the life of that car. So what that prep fee means, they took the car back, washed it, so I guess that was a glorious wash of a car, and they would put that for him to be financing that for the rest of the time he owned that car. So again, they said, hey, this needs to be amended. They were able to take down, that saved him thousands of dollars. So at the end of the day, this is something that saves people money, not want people to, keep spending money.
Awesome.
IRS audit assistance, I usually see that as when you put the THE in front, that means theirs. I know of another gentleman who they were, pretty much as of last year or 2 years ago was saying to him, hey, you're being audited because you owe us $40,000. He like, what? $40,000? So, most people sweat. They bring in a box of receipts. They don't know what to do. He had an actual IRS audit assistance attorney because that's no additional charge as far as what he had access to with his services. He went in actually to the law firm. They actually assisted him with that. At the end of the day, he ended up owing pretty much nothing. So once again, that goes to showing you that it's not about what you know, but what you're connected to and how they can help you. Another area, civil trial defense. For cover situations, we say civil, not criminal, because that falls into one of our other areas that I'll get to in 1 minute. But pre-trial and trial. So as the first year of you having the services, you have 60 hours right off the bat. So some people say, well, Rachel, that's 60 hours. I don't look like I could exhaust that in 2 days, of an attorney's time. And I said, okay, how much of an attorney's time do you have now? They say, none. I said, okay, I'll take the 60. So each year you keep the services, it goes up, it caps out at 300. I'm sure, probably pretty sure, of course, we know about the great O.J. Simpson. If he could have used these services, it probably could have saved him a lot more money of that attorney's time. So that's another attorney you'll have access to from the law firm that you're where you reside, where you have access to that. Family domestic services, we say, hey, you know, wait 90 days. It's a waiting period. Uncontested divorce, adoption, separation, name change. Really what that means is uncontested, meaning both parties do not have an attorney involved, and you just want pretty much the paperwork to be found and you all agreement on both sides. So that's the other area that we cover with you. So again, keep adding up everything that I'm going over with you in your head, because I'm not even done. Tap, snap, send. So I came up in the lot. I saw a couple of people speeding. And I was like, oh, they should have got a ticket the way they was coming up in here. So for instance, when you are, you know, of course, related in a, or actually having an actual motor vehicle speeding citation, we help you with that as well. What I love about this, what I didn't have a while back since I've been with the company, we now have it where you could take a picture of the ticket like it shows on the screen, put the court date at the top, and then press send, and it goes straight to the law firm. So that's just, again, power of having access to a law firm and for them to be able to assist you in those times of needs. Also, they will be able to consult with you within 8 business hours. So we don't have lawyers that's sitting around, you know, waiting for the phone to ring. We prepay for our attorneys. So at the end of the day, it's not you, or just me paying for this service. It's us collectively. We have a buying power. Like how you think about when you go to Costco and Sam's, it's the same thing. When you think about how you do your copay with your doctor, it's the same thing. Because some people are like, well, what kind of lawyers am I going to be getting? They go, if they are, you know, are they at the bar? Are they still studying for the bar, or are they behind bars? You know, so some people, you're getting the best of the best type of attorneys because they are AV rated. So again, this is just another awesome part of the app that you'll have access to. Also, lawyers prepare your will. Living will, healthcare, power of attorney. I have to take a little more time on this because this is something that a lot of us don't hold near and dear to our hearts. It's more so a love letter that you're leaving for those you're leaving behind. So a lot of times when people say, well, I don't have anything, I say, oh, that's strange. This, you know, chair I'm sitting in seems like you have a couple of things. So a lot of times it's not about what you don't have, but what the state will deem where it will go once you, of course, pass away. And then, of course, on top of that, Illinois is a probate state. So if you don't decide where your children, furniture, all of that is going to go, or how that's going to be distributed, the state will decide for you. Most likely your family won't like what the state decides for you. So we say stop the writing and put it in fighting.
No.
I've seen numerous families who have divided over just, you know, a utensil. And I'm like, man, is it that serious? And then when you think of just the situation that happened with Prince, billions of dollars. I'm like, how you didn't have what? I was just like, okay, that was really shocking to me that people don't have this in place. And then again, it goes back to the cost knocks people out of it as far as for having access to it. So we, of course, take that excuse away, and we also add this into your services, no additional charge.
Wow.
This is a big one. 24/7 emergency access. When we think about recent services or recent situations that have gone on the news for the last couple of years, with just police brutality, no, I believe that not every police officer is a bad officer. If any officers are in here, don't arrest me or nothing. But I do believe there are good cops and bad cops. But I'm not going to walk out my door one day and try to figure that out. So again, this emergency app is for any cover situation. What that means is you're being questioned, detained, arrested. Kids are being removed from your custody, you're being served with a warrant, or you're in a car accident, because a lot of times we incriminate ourselves, we say the wrong things because we just got in a car accident and we don't really know what's going on. And we say things that we shouldn't be saying, so you could be able to have access to an attorney, and they will be able to actually consult you right there on the spot. We're not talking about, will I see my day in court? No, I'm talking about having an attorney in a matter of seconds, right there on the phone, letting you know from A to Z what you need to do. I had a friend who used this area. I was actually watching my godkid, and she was coming back. It was 2 in the morning, and pretty much the officer pulled over right over there on 119th for Vincennes, and he said, "Oh, you ran the red light." She was like, "I didn't." So she's telling me she's being delayed, held up. I'm like, "Do you need the 24/7 number?" Because she didn't have the card on her. She said, "Yeah." So I texted to her. So he pretty much was saying she had stolen plates. She ran a red light, and he wanted her to go with him and leave the car there since the plates were stolen and go to the police station. She told him, "Well, sir, I'm going to call my attorney." He laughed at her. He said, "There's no law firm open at 2 in the morning. She said, "Well, we'll just have to see." He said, "Go ahead, be my guest." So he, walked away laughing. She got the attorney on the phone. Attorney said, "Hand the officer the phone." the officer talked to her, came back, thought he was slick, and tried to say, well, I'm giving you 2 tickets. The attorney was still on the phone. Attorney said, you won't be giving my client 2 tickets. He said, well, I already wrote the tickets. She said, well, I guess you would already have to tear them up because you know that this person's plates aren't stolen. So he tore that one up. He still gave her the ticket. Long story short, she didn't have to go to court because they went on her behalf for her. That's a part of the services. But at the time, she forgot that because she, adrenaline rush, she don't remember that. It's 2 in the morning. And then on top of that, he detained her for 2.5 hours down the street from my house. She found out before the court date. She went to the police station. They told her, oh, he was off duty. I'm like, this story gets better and better. So she said, Rachel, I don't know what I would have done had I not had something like this in place. So of course, they went to court for her. She didn't pay for them going to court for her in that situation. And then, of course, judge threw it out there. The cop had the nerve to show up. I'm like, how does that go? So they threw it out, case dismissed. There was no points given on her license. They even showed on the surveillance camera that she didn't run the red light. So again, that's having access 24/7 to top-rated law firm, not just here but everywhere. Of course, in the U.S. as well as in Canada, and that's just a peace of mind. Anything that I didn't go over that maybe went over your head? We have a 25% preferred member discount. So things such as, kidnapping, kid slapping, we definitely want to help you with that, but you're going to get at a 25% discount. So some other things is bankruptcy, foreclosure, divorce, child custody, or things that happen before you say, hey, Rachel, this sounds great tonight. I need to go ahead and get a service, but I have some things pending and it has court dates. That's also covered under our 25% preferred member discount. So again, of course, we're not saying everything is fully covered, so don't walk out of here saying this girl told me that it's covered for $1 less $1 a day, and now you tell me it's not. We have some things, of course, it's not a catch-all, but again, I'd rather have a discount on something that I usually wouldn't get a discount on anyway. So, who's covered? So, back to what I was saying earlier, again, this is less than $1 a day. You're covered as the member's spouse or significant other. You have both, you're going to need the services, so start filling out paperwork tonight. Never married dependent children under the age of 26 living at home. Of course, as well, if they're full-time college students, they're covered too, even if they're in another state. And then dependent children under the age of 18, of course, if you're the legal guardian. And then physically or mentally disabled children, they're covered for life as long as they're dependents. This is all of who's covered on this plan. Now, usually, let's see, how should I say this? Usually when you add somebody to your car insurance, what happens? Like a child or something, goes up, right. Usually, when you actually use the insurance that you have, such as, car insurance, health insurance, usually you feel like you're being penalized for having to use it. With Legal Shield, we don't penalize you for you to use it. We want you to proactively use it because a lot of times I tell people if you don't know your rights, you don't have it. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you are not just protecting yourself, but any of your immediate family members that I just touched on here. So this is, he looks a little confused already. But this is a lawyer charging $250 an hour. It's actually gone up, I think, for the state of Illinois, it's about $283 now per hour that an actual attorney's charging. So I say either pay that or enjoy Legal Shield for $20 a month. It makes sense. I say to myself every day, the person who shared this with me, they don't know how much of a blessing they've been to not just me, but me and my family, because we've taken advantage of the services so many times on different issues. And just thinking about $20 a month is really, I'm not asking you to make a financial decision tonight, because if I could pay a cell phone bill for $20 a month, I probably have $5. So this is the best part that I'm getting to now for you. That's going to go over just some of these other people who are actually saying better things about us than I can tell you. These are, of course, attorney generals. So I'm not making this stuff up. Then we have attorney general for the state of Louisiana. And I believe he just got involved with Legal Shield to share the services with other people. So attorney generals, if you don't know, they usually shut companies down, but they're endorsing our company, so that tells you something, of course, about this fabulous company that's been around. Who hasn't heard about identity theft? Just raise your hand. Okay. So I'm talking to the right crowd again. Identity theft, we don't stop with just the legal services as well as having you empowered and protected with the legal protection plan. But we know identity theft is a major problem in America. We all know that. Like, that's why none of you all raise your hand and say, I don't know what identity theft is. We're not here tonight to tell you what it is, but we're here to educate you on how the different forms manifest, because people are not educated that it can happen in different and multiple ways. By a show of hands, or anybody just blurt out, what do you think is the biggest, or I guess most common way? Look at that, the person in the picture just changed. Y'all missed it. Hold on, I'm gonna go back. I gotta see that again. No, I want y'all to look at that. It's Johnny.
Right. And now it's
Billy. So we have different forms. We have different forms here of identity theft because it manifests, of course, in a plethora of ways. By show of hands, how many say credit fraud and financial fraud is the highest form of identity theft that's done?
Credit fraud. Yeah.
Okay, credit fraud. Okay. What about Social Security fraud? How many would say that's the highest form? Driver's license. So how many people just don't know and they're not gonna answer it? All right. So a lot of people will say credit fraud. That's actually only 17% of how identity theft is done. So that's not even half of how identity theft is done. The highest form, circle right here.
What?
Medical.
Medical.
So people say, well, why is that? I say, okay. Let's say, which we've already seen, hospitals have been hacked. Mm-hmm. And when they are hacked, you had all your information stored there. Your name, date of birth, driver's license possibly, the medical information about you, street address. So you have a lot of things in one place. That's a free-for-all for somebody like an identity thief, of course, to go ahead and say, let me now use those pieces of information. And so I always tell people theft is usually when someone steals it. Fraud is when someone uses it. Wow. So you don't want to be in either of those predicaments, but when you are, you have, of course, our identity theft protection plan that's going to help you no matter what form that is actually done in. So a lot of people say, well, if they stole my credit, they throw it back. I said, not if they committed crimes in your name, they ain't throwing nothing back to you. Mm-hmm. They want to leave you worse off. That's what identity theft is. It's not about what they take from you. So right here is just showing some of the features that we offer, privacy and security monitoring. Of course, we give you an app as well, like the Legal Shield app. You get course alerts, credit score, monitoring things. But also, the biggest thing that we do, of course, outside of unlimited consultation, which we've, of course, as it shows, 200,000 personal identity consultations done already. But we also do full restoration and emergency consultation. Right here. I wouldn't mess with this guy. But he's one of our private licensed investigators, and that's what separates us from other companies that we hear out here. Mm-hmm. We hear of a lot of them. I'm not going to name them today. But a lot of times they're usually going to tell you what to do, and then they'll reimburse you if they deem it necessary. And it was for something you never did. I'm like, I thought I was paying you for that. Right. So if you want to think of monitoring and restoration, because a lot of people are paying for pricey monitoring services. Mm-hmm. So if you want to think of what's the difference, I get monitoring. Monitoring is like, let's say you have an alarm system in your house. You just put the alarm system in one room. So burglar breaks in another room. You're not protected in that room. Restoration is where you have a full actual monitoring services, plus if something were to happen, we pretty much go back in and restore that as far as your name back to where it needs to be before that breach ever occurs. So if you had, bad credit, you're going back to bad credit, not good credit. So also we're saying here, we've already restored 10,000 individual identities have been restored already. And on top of that, like I said, a lot of other companies do not have private licensed investigators, nor do they have the funds. So that's why they usually ask you, hey, we're going to send you a kit. Hopefully you can pay for it, and then we'll reimburse you. We don't work like that over here. We do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to clear your name back to where it needs to be. And, of course, we have a $5 million guarantee, a service guarantee. So I said that's a piece of mind. Right here is just going over what we cover and what we protect for a whole family. For a whole family, of course, you see right here for $39.90 a month. Again, let's go back and let's divide that into, let's say, 30 days. It's what, about dollar and some change to protect your family, like that's not a a hard decision. And then of course $27.90 a month for an individual. That's somebody that doesn't have any dependents, doesn't have a spouse or a significant other. And I say you could never put a price on a peace of mind. So this is because they like, this girl told me she was gonna show me how I don't have to pay for the services and that, pretty much they'll pay me. They're like, she ain't even hit on that. So I'm about to hit on it now. So right here, you get member perks. I don't know anywhere where I could go that they'll give me a service, and then they'll sometimes give me discounts, but it's not really help me offset the cost of the services, even though the services are helping you save money on top of that. But on top of them giving you the services, they give you access to over 400 discounts. So if you want to, these are just some of them. And of course right here on this banner right here, that's just some of them. It's just the tip of the iceberg. So AMC theaters, I know some of y'all, all of y'all look like y'all like to go to the movies and have a good time. We take some, of course, $3 to $4 off of those tickets. Because I feel like tickets go up every other day. I said, maybe I'll go to the movies. And man, it's like $13. Also, we give you discounts on Office Max, Office Depot, electronics, hotels, rental cars. So the list goes on and on. I couldn't, of course, continue to tell you as much. But for instance, if you use, I have the app on the phone. It shows you how much you would save if you were covering, let's say, 2-3 family members, and then you break it down and show, let's say, hey, I'm gonna go to the movies 2 to 3 times a month, and then you show, hey, I'm gonna go out to eat 2 to 3 times a month, and then you say, I'm gonna buy clothes maybe once a month. 'Cause some people, we gotta cut back on some things. So once you do that, and it shows in that calculator in the app that you could download tonight, it's gonna show you that you're not paying, even if you're paying a $39.90 plan or that $27.90 plan, we're saving you hundreds of dollars right there with the discount. So once again, that goes back to my thing of showing you how we're going to help you save money, and then of course how we're going to help you pay to keep our services, because we know what it means to be empowered and protecting people on a day-to-day basis. So I'm going to end right there. That is my time, but I do want to bring up the next gentleman who's going to go over more about how we're going to help you save money and more about how we can put money back into your pocket. This gentleman, he's not even a rising star, so I don't know when he sleeps. I feel like he glows in the dark. He flies at night. But this gentleman, he's been a mentor of mine. He's an author. He's been able to be a full-time dad. I really admire that, because I'm like, when building a legacy, you want to know how to leave a legacy to your family, not leave a generational debt. So this gentleman is, of course, building generational wealth for him and his family, for his 2 daughters. And so I just want to go ahead, without further ado, introduce to some but present to others, Mr. Mel Roberson.
Wow, sir. That a guest in the room, we probably just freaked you out, right? I come to a room, people clapping, they happy. It's amazing to come into an environment like this, because I would venture to say that people generally aren't excited about going to work, unless they absolutely love what they do. But my dad was a steel worker for 39 years of his life, and I never once saw him hop up in the morning like, honey, I'm going to the plant today. Right? Like, people don't get excited about what they do. So to come to a room where the environment is high and there's excitement and we're praising each other, it's a little bit different than what we're normally experiencing in the workplace. However, I would venture to say that this environment is more productive. It's more conducive to the success of people when you celebrate people. And it just makes you feel better. So I don't apologize for our enthusiasm. Watching this young lady grow since she's been in the business, and seeing her have an opportunity to present. I tell you, Rachel Moulton was so shy when she got started in this business, she couldn't lead 3 people in silent prayer. But now she's like in front of the room. She's like, I'm ready. I'm going. Now here's the other part. Because when I first started the business, I'm going to give you a presentation today, and hopefully I do a good job. But I'll say that my first presentation wasn't a good presentation. My first presentation was so bad, my mom told me, Legal Shield doesn't sound legal based off what you just told me. This is is my mom. She didn't buy it from me. This is the same woman that has a $1,000 set of steak knives on her countertop. Homemaker plus 8, for those of you that are familiar with Cutco cutlery, y'all know about that?
Yeah.
$1,000 set of steak knives when my little brother was selling knives. I tell her about a plan for her and my dad that's 20 some odd, 30 some odd dollars a month. She like, Legal Shield don't sound legal. Go get your money back. I ain't never heard of this thing. Boy, you crazy. And so then all that I did was, the young lady that recruited me into the business, I took her to my mom's house. I had her do the presentation. And my mom was like, oh, this sounds great. Where do I sign? What do I need to do? And I stood up at my mama's kitchen table and I was like, Mama, I said the exact same thing and you didn't get it. And my sponsor, she pinched me on the leg. She said, you're about to make $60. Sit down. I was like, Mama, press hard. 3 copies. 3 copies is yours. But I say all that to say that you don't have to be an amazing presenter. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be a Rachel Moulton. If you can become a professional people bringer, right? Think about it like this. If you're a guest in the room, unless I invited you or unless Rachel invited you, but if you're a guest outside of that, how much work is the person doing that invited you here tonight? Nothing. Right? So imagine if you went to your job tomorrow and you said, hey, boss or manager, you told the manager on your job, hey, I want to sit down, I want to watch you do all the work, but I still want my paycheck. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit here and watch you work. Right? What would your boss or manager say?
Get out.
Security. Right?
Get out.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the business side of what we do. And money is not everything, but it's kind of up there with air and water. We needed to survive. The artist formerly known as Prince said, money can't buy you happiness, but it'll help pay for the search, right? And people that generally say money can't buy you happiness, they probably don't have any money or any happiness,
Right.
And I don't say that because I don't think that money is everything. It's what you can do with the money. For example, and I'm not going to be before you long tonight. When I was in 8th grade, back in right? Our field trip was to Wisconsin Dells. It cost $35, and my mama might have given me like $20 spending money, maybe, because it was 8th grade, right? So $35 to go to Wisconsin Dells for the day or however it was. I was like, cool, all right. So my daughter, my 14-year-old, when it's time to go on her field trip, she's like, Dad, it's time for our 8th grade trip. She's like, I want to go. Can I go? I was like, of course, baby, no big deal. And she gives me the permission slip, and it's to Washington, D.C. And it's $1,300 for like 3 days. I'm like, $1,300 for 3 days? Like, what are you eating filet mignon every day? Like, do you get to sit in the Oval Office with Obama at the time? Right? But I had already told her she could go. And it wasn't a big deal for me to stroke the check because money as an issue was out of the way, right? It's a different feeling when you tell your children no because they don't deserve it as opposed to you can't afford it. It's a different feeling when you have a family member that's in distress and they need money and you can say, okay, I'm going to loan it to you knowing that you'll never see it. I'm the only one that made that type of loan. Right? So it's not that I think that money is everything because it's not. But there's a difference between a problem and a challenge. A challenge is something that you could stroke a check for and it'll go away. Right? So you have to ask yourself right now, how big of a challenge can I handle? In other words, if I could just throw some money at it and it would go away, that's just a challenge. A problem is something that is going to take a little bit more than that. Like cancer is a problem. If you have somebody dealing with cancer, that's a little bit more of a problem. But if the challenge is my tire rod broke on my car, can you stroke a check right there and make that go away? Or is that going to cause you a little bit of distress? The challenge is, my refrigerator just went out, I need a new one. Would that be something that you could handle right away and stroke a check for? So I want to talk to you about excess. I want to talk to you about increase. I want to talk to you about having a little bit more than you actually need. I'm not asking you to quit your job. I didn't quit my job immediately when I started Legal Shield. Some people do though, and they're very successful. They jump in head first. But most of us want to start on a part-time basis where an extra $200, $300, maybe $500 a month would help you out. What could you do with an extra $500 a month?
Bless you.
Could you pay off the student loan mafia a little bit faster? Right? You know what I mean? Think about how fast you could get out of debt. There's a difference between paying on your bills and paying off your bills. Right? And I haven't always been this successful. I haven't always had money like I have now. right? I remember a point in time where I had to put some money on my bills instead of paying out. Like the light bill came and I put a little bit of money on it and they gave me a little bit of light. Right? So certain things you have to do. So my background, real quick, so you know who's in front of you. When I was in high school, I started working at Foot Locker. That was my first like real job. I had another job before that. I was working as an assistant mechanic in my dad and my uncle's shop. They had a little shop where they used to work on cars. I'm telling you, this is probably against child labor laws because I worked there every single day and they gave me like $20 a week, right? I think that's child labor laws. I need a legal shield when I was 11 years old because they were breaking child labor laws. But when I was in high school, I started working at Foot Locker, and this is when I started to realize that the American economy really takes advantage of people, right? Most of us are doing just enough so they don't fire you, and they pay you just enough so you don't quit. Would you all agree with that?
Yes.
Right? They buy you at wholesale and sell you at retail. I worked at Foot Locker. I had weeks where I sold in excess of $10,000 worth of merchandise. Now, I'm working part-time, so they're paying me by the hour. Right? $10,000 worth of merchandise, not because I'm a good salesman, but because this was the 90s. Michael Jordan was playing for the Bulls, and everybody wanted to be like
Mike.
Right? So you're selling shoes that are that expensive. You sell a bunch of shoes, you can sell $10,000 worth of merchandise. Here's the thing. End of a 2-week time period, my check was $328.72. I brought the company roughly $20,000, and they paid me $300. Now, I'm not good at math, but I know that ain't good math. So my parents said, go to school, get a good education, and get a good job. How many people have parents that said that? The rest of y'all ain't have parents? Right? Everybody's parents said that. I did that, played the world's greatest fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, got out of school, and became a drug dealer. Legally, hold on. Some of y'all are looking at me. I went to pharmaceutical sales. But I sucked at it, and I sucked so bad that I got fired from it, and that's when I started my consulting business. And Legal Shield found me while I was working my consulting business. So on a part-time basis, I started working this business, built it up to a full-time income, was able to phase out my consulting business, haven't looked back ever since. Since then, it's given me the time freedom to write a couple of books, to be on TV. I'm pursuing an acting career now, so I work part-time, but I've been on, like last year I was on Chicago PD. I was on Empire, actual speaking roles, not like just a guy in the background that you had to pause the TV to see. Right? The names and the credits and everything. And I don't say that to impress you, but what is your dream? What is your vision? What is something that you want to do, but your time freedom is probably keeping you away from it, or you don't have the finances to pursue it? So I want to talk to you about actually chasing your dreams. So Legal Shield opportunity, and by the way, Ms. Moten did a phenomenal job of explaining it. $20 a month just to have the legal services. We spend $20. My breakfast today was more than $20. So I spent more today just on breakfast than some people would spend in a month for their legal services. She told you if your phone bill was $20, you would have 5 of them, right? How much is your cable bill? How much? I mean, that doesn't bring any real value to your life, right? But Legal Shield for $20 to $40 a month. You know, when people don't get this membership, especially after seeing Rachel Moten's presentation, if you don't get this membership and you're a guest in the room, I'm gonna pray for you. Right? Because I'm a prayer man. I pray for people that don't get the membership. I say a little prayer on their way out the door. I say, Dear Lord, please let them get a speeding ticket on their way home. I'm just kidding. I don't do that anymore. So here we go. So the Legal Shield opportunity, let's talk about it, right? How much does it cost to get started? How do I do the business, and how much can I earn? Let's talk about how much does it cost to get started. There's a difference between being a business owner and being an employee, okay? If you went to a McDonald's and you got Little Johnny on French fries and you got the business owner, who makes more money, the owner or Johnny on French fries?
The owner.
Why does the owner make more than Johnny on French fries?
Because he does it.
Because he's the owner, because he made the investment, because he put up his $1.5 million to start that McDonald's franchise, right? So it costs to start a business. I had a lemonade stand when I was a kid. I didn't start it for free. I actually had to buy lemons and sugar and cups, because my mom was like, boy, don't you take my good cups out this house, right? So I had to buy lemons, I had to buy cups, I had to invest in my business in order. They say it takes money to
Make money.
right? So we all know that starting a business costs money. But our employee mentality, what we've been taught in school, is to go to work, get a good education so you can get a good job. So when we hear something about this, we say, well, that sounds like a pyramid. Well, what makes it a pyramid? Oh, well, the person at the top makes all the money, and the people at the bottom don't make as much as the person at the top. I say, well, what happens at your job? The person at the top makes all the money. the person that did the right? You can out-earn the person that recruits you, and I'll show you how to do that, right? You can out-earn the person that recruits you. So there's a $99 investment. $99 realistically, I think, is a joke to start a business, right? Because if you have some type of gaming system for yourself or your kids, a Nintendo or PlayStation or Xbox, you spent more than $100 to play with some lights on your television set, right? Ladies, some of you have purses that cost more than $100, right? This is my neighbor, Noelle. We took our kids to Showbiz, her and her husband, me and my girlfriend, we took all the kids to Showbiz, not Showbiz, it used to be Showbiz, what is it now? Chuck E. Cheese, right? Showbiz shows you how old I am.
Showbiz.
Right? But we went to Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm sure we spent more than $100 that day on tokens and pizza and pop and all that other stuff. So we spend $100 on things that yield us no return on investment. Okay, we blow $100 on things. Right? What holiday is coming up? Memorial Day, isn't that coming up? Memorial Day. Some of us are barbecue, right? So you're gonna go out and spend more than $100 on meat, charcoal, non-alcoholic beverages, right? A bunch of people might come over to the house. They're gonna take a plate home. They're not even gonna help you clean up, but you spend more than $100, right? So we'll spend money on things that won't give us a return on investment. With Legal Shield, it's a $99 investment, and then there's a $20 a month fee that we call Legal Shield Advantage. I call this your business maintenance fee. When I have my consulting business, it costs me about $40 a month to maintain just my website, right? With the web developer that I had and all the changes that I made, $40 a month for my consulting business. Let me show you what you get with Legal Shield though. You get a personalized professional website. You don't have to pay to have a website created because we're gonna give you a self-replicating website. Anytime somebody goes to that website, they sign up for the membership or they sign up to become an associate, because it's your website, they're automatically enrolled under you. Customized professional brochures, fact sheets, and videos. These are things that you can print off and have for people to do presentations. Franklin Covey personal development courses. I don't know if you all have ever studied anything outside of school, but I'm a huge fan of personal development. I do a lot of reading. I got bookcases upon bookcases at my house. If you get in my car right now and you turn the radio on, you'll actually hear a Napoleon Hill seminar right now instead of music. So I do a lot of personal development because what you think about, you bring about. And if you start programming yourself with positive philosophies, then you'll be a better person. Well, we have a Franklin Covey personal development course system in our back office that's worth about $3,000 to $5,000. That's included in your $99 investment. Right? Not to mention all types of contests and incentives. We have an app called Prospect by Legal Shield that'll help you run the business side of your business, sending out videos and emails and stuff to people. Right? We basically have made this business easy for you to maintain and duplicate. There are various ways to do it. We got mobile apps, social media, all types of stuff. I was in the back of the room and I just happened to check my Facebook real quick because my alerts were going off. And there's a young lady that said, Mel, I need Legal Shield. I said, I'm in a meeting right now, but I can call you around 9 o'clock, right? Now, she had seen videos that I had posted and heard me talking about Legal Shield, and now she's interested. I guess she has a situation. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to finish the conversation. So there are conference calls, three-way calls, DVDs, magazines. We were just featured in a magazine called Success from Home. As a matter of fact, there's one right there in my bag. Yep, that's the Success from Home magazine. Let me see this. This was on newsstands all around the country, Success from Home magazine. Our company is doing so well, we were featured in this magazine. So this isn't stuff that I have to make up or I have to impress you upon it, right? My biggest month in Legal Shield has been a little over $15,000. I'm not concerned with what your opinion is. And I don't say that to be arrogant or cocky about it, but I sat in a room like this 15 years ago with somebody who said, I don't think this is gonna work. And I had a $15,000 month despite their opinion, right? So it doesn't matter what you think. We already have over 4.2 million members that we're currently serving. It's just a matter of you want to position yourself on the front end of an economic trend. She brought up Netflix in her presentation. The guys that started Netflix went to Blockbuster and said, hey guys, we got a way to start streaming videos. We want to know if you all want to be partial investors in this and help this company get off the ground. Blockbuster said, no, people like the experience of Blockbuster. Your idea will never work.
You should have bought it.
Where is Blockbuster?
Got a business.
Blockbuster. Right? So the same with Uber, the same with Airbnb, they all have stories of how in the beginning nobody thought they would work, but now they're laughing at people, saying, haha, you should have invested, right? So let's talk about what we do. We get paid daily, by the way.
Nice.
And you put in $40 and $60 pops out. What do you do?
Do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Yeah.
So you put in another $40 and $60 more pops out. What do you do?
Do it again.
You cover up the camera. $40 and you do it again. See, the company doesn't care how many people you sign up. They're just going to pay you for each person. As a matter of fact, let me show you how this basically works. Once you've written 6 memberships, 6 people have gotten a membership, you jump up to senior associate. So on your 7th membership, you put in $40 and $120 pops out. What do?
Keep doing it.
You keep doing it. Once you've done that 15 times, and it doesn't have to be in a row, same day, same week. You could do it over a month. You could do it over a year. But if you could get up the commission plan faster, I would venture to say you would want to do it faster. At the manager level, you make $140 per hour. Senior managers make $160. Directors make $190. Senior directors make $230. Executive directors make $280 every time you write a $40 membership. At $280, I don't care if it's the worst storm in the history of Chicago. 80 miles.